The name of that song is titled Shake You Off. It's from a brand new album by the Toronto-based group The Commoners. That album just came out. It's called Restless. My special guest today is one of the band members and lead singer, Chris Medhurst. Chris, welcome to the Friday Afternoon Music Mix.
Thank you for having me, Greg. Pleasure to talk with you.
I got your latest album, Restless, from your radio promoter, Haley, at Gypsy Soul Records. You knocked me out with tunes that were very similar to the Allman Brothers. A first album in 2022 that's called Find a Better Way. Other members of the band are Ben Spiller on the bass, Ross Citrola, who is on guitar. Keyboards is Mile Branna. Adam Cannon is on the drums. By the way, Ross is also your producer. You just returned from a tour of UK. Tell me a little bit about what's next for you guys.
What's next is we've got a festival coming up in October in Poland, which is going to be really cool. So we're going to be getting together in the next couple weeks, probably working on a little bit of writing to get some new tunes out and running that we can tour with and road test, as well as just take a mix of the first and the most recent record, see what we can put together with some cool jam sessions and all that sort of stuff to make a nice, engaging set for people when we go over to Poland.
You mentioned that you were going to be writing some new songs. Who are the principal songwriters of the band, Chris?
The Commoners really operate as a fully equal collaborative effort. Everybody participates in the writing process. How that process starts can really vary a lot. I spent a lot of time as a solo singer-songwriter, so I'll write a lot of stuff for the band as far as fully thought out songs or sections, melody ideas. Bass player writes a lot of music. Ross will sometimes come in with a guitar riff, and then we'll write a song around that, or a drum groove from Adam. What is really the only constant is that once we're in that group environment presenting ideas, whether they're fully formed ideas or just partial sections, when the band gets involved, it becomes an everything goes situation where the song can drastically change from where it first started. Everyone really checks their egos at the door, and we just allow it to be a kind of a hive mind where nobody's too attached to any ideas and things can change. As a songwriter, that took me a little while to adjust to, because you do have very much a vision for the things that you write. But in allowing things to just go through that process and change how they change, you end up places that you would never really go alone. That's one of the best things about being in a band like the Commoners.
How did your name originate?
I'm not exactly sure whose idea it was, but back in the day when we were trying to figure out a name for the band, we had like a long list of names that we had gotten, friends and ourselves, we had just thrown into the mix, and then we went through them all. That's just sort of the one that stuck. It seemed humble. It seems like it attaches you to your audience. That's kind of the relationship that we want to have with our audience as a band and with the music that we write. I want it to be a very accessible space. We don't ever really try and present ourselves as this larger than life, more than other people sort of entity. You know, it's very much music that's written for the human experience. Everyone's invited.
Let's do a second song from this new album, and this is the title cut, Restless.
Fall out of bed, doing things my way, no rest for the wicked. Step out the doorway, the beast is unfair. I don't know how to get through this, but somebody told me through struggle is peace. My heart is beating and I'm breathing, but I still feel restless. Yes, I do. I know this feeling ain't leaving, no matter what I think. for that feeling that's just out of reach. I put my trust in the moment before me. They say it's a process that life's gotta teach. You see the man that's before you, but I hide my darkness in the back of my chest. I'll always be your shoulder to lean on, but I'll still feel restless. Yes, I will. I know this feeling ain't leaving, no matter what I think. It's just how it is, and I'll go wherever the mess is. I'll stay restless. Oh. So far, I don't have the answers. The road never answers to me. Ooh, and you're far, an ocean between us, but I still feel restless. I know this feeling ain't leaving, no matter what I think. It's just how it is. I'll go wherever the mess is. I'll stay restless again and again. Just how it is. Just how it is. Whenever I am. Just how it is. I'll stay restless. Just how it is. Just how it is. Again and again. Just how it is. Yeah. Just how it is. Just how it is. Just wherever I am. Just how it is. I'll stay just how it is.
Your album cover, who designed that?
Oh, that's a really good question. I'm not 100% sure who ended up designing it because we have a few different people who work on things for us. If I were to say Americana to you, there's going to be a bunch of different bands and sounds that you can kind of associate with that, right? We like to think of ourselves more like Canadiana. It's like it's very much the same thing, but there's a hint to it that is just inherently Canadian. There's something about Canadian music that it's hard to quite put your finger on it, but there's something always there that sounds Canadian, whether it's Neil Young or Gordon Lightfoot or the Guess Who or the Tragically Hip. There's something inherently Canadian about it. We really wanted to kind of incorporate that into the album cover with the big sweeping landscapes and the pine forests. It turned out really well.
A tour coming up that will take you into 2025. Will you be in Europe long?
Yeah, I think we're going to be there for quite a few weeks. I don't know exactly how many dates. I'd have to actually go look at the tour date list. I believe we're in Europe for 2 to 3 weeks. And then from Europe, we're going into the UK for the latter half of the tour.
How did you get together and how long have you been a band?
The band has been sort of gradually forming for a really long time. I started playing music live when I was probably about 15. through doing that, I won a competition where I got some recording studio time. And that's where I met the guitarist in the band, Ross. He was in the early days of his recording studio. I did a couple songs with him. We had sort of talked about doing something together musically because he's a phenomenal guitarist. A couple years went by and we were sort of doing our own thing. Then we sort of reconvened and started talking more seriously about making a project. And at that time, Ben, who's the bass player, was actually working with Ross at the studio. So, he sort of started getting involved. We were playing music with a few different people over the years in those early days. It really didn't turn into the band that it is now till about 2018 when we got our drummer, Adam Cannon, and when Miles, the keyboard player, entered the group. Once we got the core group of musicians that are who the Commoners are now, we really sort of reevaluated what we wanted to do as a band directionally with our music. That's really when things started to come together with the first record that we released, Find a Better Way.
You have any plans for a U.S. tour?
Absolutely. Yeah. The US is somewhere we've wanted to go for quite a long time. I think it's just been a process of proving ourselves in other markets first in order to get our foot in that door. That, and there have been some increased costs of working visas in the last few months that were quite tough to swallow. As Canadians, that's a market we definitely want to get into. You guys have one of the best music markets in the world. From a selfish place, there's a lot of places in the US I'd really like to go. So
Let's do a third song. This is called Who Are You?
me.
You have a great mix on this album, Chris. Not only the driving roots rock music, but you've got some great ballads on here. One we're going to play here towards the end also falls into that category. How do you determine how you're going to mix an album when you put it together like this, as far as your types of choice of genre and rock versus ballads, that sort of thing?
Well, it's funny that you asked that question because, we remind a lot of people of bands from the 70s, like you were saying at the beginning, bands like the Allman Brothers. I think our approach musically is really what brings that to the recordings and to the songs. Because as far as listeners, we have a very eclectic music listening taste. Myself as a writer, I bring a lot of different genres and styles and elements to the music. But the way that we then approach playing and recording that music is very akin to those bands from the 70s. So oftentimes when we are recording, we do use recordings like the song Melissa from the Allman Brothers as a reference for how to mix things and where things are going to sit sonically when it comes to the recording process. Our producer Ross could speak more intelligently on this, but we definitely use a lot of those great records and new records that are great that we really enjoy listening to sonically, and then see what we can learn from those mixes to apply to our own music.
What's next?
I think next is just going to be really preparing for that Poland show, preparing for our tour in the winter, starting to write some new music, not really with any direction in mind or any concrete deadlines or dates, but really just to do what we do as musicians, which is keep making music.
The website is called thecommoners.ca/the-band.
We have been mistaken for the Commodores, but however, as you can see, I'm not Lionel Richie. I can't take credit for that joke. I give credit to that joke to Sam Fish's tour manager, Danny.
Let's point out some of your other really great social media sites: facebook.com/thecommonersTO,
Mm-hmm.
instagram.com/thecommonersTO, tiktok.com/thecommonersTO, great YouTube site, which is youtube.com/thecommoners, a great Spotify, just /thecommoners. Do you find that TikTok is where the action is?
Our TikTok presence could probably be much better than it is. And that's something that we've actually recently been talking to. There's obviously a large portion of people consuming content from TikTok, and you see that bleeding over into the other social sites on Instagram. You're looking at Reels most of the time. It's just shared TikToks to Instagram, right? There's a huge potential to tap into more people. Our biggest contributor for people finding our music has actually been Facebook, creating a really good online community there. It's difficult as a band to try and cover all of your bases because you're expected to be the people who do the social media, the people who create the music, the people who make the music videos, the recordings. You have to wear every hat now, and it can be all encompassing. But we're definitely trying to start to tap more and more into TikTok because there's definitely a potential for a large audience there.
Your Facebook site is facebook.com/thecommonersTO. My special guest today has been Chris Medhurst, who is the lead vocalist for the Toronto-based rock blues roots band, The Commoners. They have a new album that just came out in 2024 called Restless. Chris, thank you so very much. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show today.
Thank you for having me, Greg. It's a pleasure talking with you.
Let's go out with one last song. This is called See You Again.
The night settles in, the days are at my back. My only sin is It's how I lost track. One day I won't be waiting for all the things that I had. When I see you again, it's gonna be just like the last time. When I meet you on the other side, I'm gonna share all the good times, yeah. Yeah. Wherever I go, my compass points me back home. Though time's not my friend, maybe I'll get the chance to know where I am or where I'm going. Until that day I wait for. When I see you again, it's gonna be just like the last time. When I meet you on the other side, I'm gonna share all the good times. Oh yeah, when I see you again. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When I see you again, it's gonna be just like the last time. When I meet you on the other side,